Good morning, children. I'm Alice Cooper. I'm not used to this huge ball of hydrogen in the sky warming our planet, but since I am here, I'll be here for an hour to introduce some videos to you, and then tonight is when I come alive. See you tonight on Rage. Okay, the prototype for all lead singers like myself is this next guy. First saw him when I was 15. Turned on the television set. My mom and dad had just digested the Beatles, and they saw the Rolling Stones and said, okay, it's okay to be like the Beatles, but you can't be like them, meaning the Rolling Stones were a little scruffy. We immediately thought, well, we're going to make the Stones, look like choir boys when we get done. But this is the best song they ever recorded. This is the Rolling Stones' Brown Sugar, maybe the greatest rock song of all time. Well, this is me during the day, which is unusual because I very rarely see the sun. Ah, there it is. One of my favorite bands of all time, one of the very first bands that ever used the stage other than just the way other bands use the stage. They smashed their equipment. They had the best drummer in the world. They had the greatest, probably stage guitarist of all time, Pete Townshend and Keith Moon, best drummer I ever saw. And a song that will live forever because every generation relates to this. My generation. Hello, kiddies. I'm Alice Cooper, and here I am on Rage, which is unusual because I'm not in the least bit enraged. Okay, here comes a band that for the first time I ever heard rap and rock combined. Nobody ever gives them the credit for this, and it was this song where I first heard the beginnings of rap and rock. Epic. Okay, here is one of my public service videos. There was a rash of teenage suicides going on around the world. And I thought the only way, if you were talking to your best friend and they were going to commit suicide, you'd say, hey, stupid, what are you doing? So this is me saying, hey, stupid, to a lot of kids out there that are thinking about suicide. Anti-suicide song, Hey, Stupid, Alice Cooper. Hello, my little children of the night. I am Alice Cooper, and I am your host tonight on Rage. I wasn't their first choice, but Donny Osmond couldn't make it, so I'm the replacement, okay? You are under my spell tonight. I will pick the videos. You will listen. And you will learn. Hello. Jane's Addiction, one of those bands that comes along once in your life that is different than anybody else. Perry Farrell brought something entirely new to the world. I remember when I heard this song on the radio, I literally pulled my car over and said, what was that? I never heard anything like that before. To this day, I cannot explain this band. I don't know what they're about, and I know Perry really well, but it's just amazing the combination of people in this band, what they came up with. Been Caught Stealing. Okay, this is my little sister from Detroit, Susie Quattro, who we also toured with. She was in a band called the Pleasure Seekers, which was all of her sisters. And they were really a good little band, but she broke away and, of course, became a star on her own. Susie looks exactly the same as she did in 1968. She's got some sort of deal with somebody going. And one of my best friends in the business, Susie Quattro, Can the Can. When our band first went to Los Angeles in 1968, the very first band we met, the very first people we met that took us under their wing were the Doors. They sort of let us come in, watch the recording sessions, got to be good friends with Robbie Krieger and Jim Morrison and Ray and all the guys in the Doors. And they had a sound that was like no other. They were the Los Angeles sex sound. It was like very sleazy, almost jazzy, but it was undeniably the Doors. Break On Through. Devo are unexplainable. They just are totally unexplainable. They are from Akron, Ohio, the home of Rubber. And here comes this band that is from another dimension. I remember we did a show there one time at a club when we first started, and somebody came into the dressing room and said, "You got to go see this band." And we came out, they were opening for us, and there were these guys in 5 white, sort of like butcher outfits, and they were playing all their instruments with live lobsters. Devo, whip it good. Now we're talking about Guns N' Roses, the last great American hard rock band. After Aerosmith, I think those were the 2 last giant hard rock bands. We took Guns N' Roses on their very first tour, 1984, I think it was, and I saw a bar band that was just going to explode. Didn't know when, didn't know how, but I knew they were going to, and right after that, they took off. It's a band so full of talent, I can't believe they're not back together, and when they do, they'll be doing football stadiums. Welcome to the jungle. Once again, Detroit comes up with a monster band. I'm from Detroit, the home of Iggy and the Stooges, the MC5, Eminem, Bob Seger. It goes on and on. Mitch Wright and the Detroit Wheels. And all of a sudden, there's this new band called the White Stripes. And it's one guy and his sister or his wife, or we still don't know who Meg is. But I said, how can you make that much music with a guitar player and a drummer? And somehow they did. Unbelievable band. Something unexplained, another unexplainable band. Maybe the most talented guy in the business right now, Jack White. 7 Nation Army. Hello, kiddies. I'm Alice Cooper, and you're watching Rage. And you better watch, because I know where you live. One of my favorite guys in the world, Weird Al Yankovic, but maybe the most talented satirist I can think of. I actually saw them live. They do all of these videos that they did live with one of the best bands I've ever heard in my life. Weird Al takes on Offspring here with Pretty Fly for a Rabbi.
Very.
Okay, now we're going to play my little brother, Rob Simon. He's not really my brother, but he should be. He's probably my best friend in the business. We just toured together. Totally share the same sort of appreciation for really bad horror movies, that they are comedies as much as they are horror. And if you don't quite get what this song is about, if you remember the Munsters, Grandpa had a car, and it was called Dragula. Okay, the prototype for all lead singers like myself is this next guy. First saw him when I was 15. Turned on the television set. My mom and dad had just digested the Beatles, and they saw the Rolling Stones and said, okay, it's okay to be like the Beatles, but you can't be like them, meaning the Rolling Stones were a little scruffy. We immediately thought, well, we're going to make the Stones, look like choir boys when we get done. But this is the best song they ever recorded. This is the Rolling Stones' Brown Sugar, maybe the greatest rock song of all time. Okay, there needs to be more snotty garage bands in the world. And I remember hearing this song also on the radio when I was driving. And I thought it was the Small Faces, or I thought it was Humble Pie, or I thought it was somebody like that. A band called Jet from Australia. And the thing I like about this band is that they're a drunk bar band. And I think that's what rock and roll needs, is more drunk bar bands. And I'm not kidding. Jet. Well, don't I look comfortable? And I am. I'm a very big critic of new music, but every once in a while a song comes along where I go, who was that? What was that? My Chemical Romance was a band I'd heard about. I saw them. Interesting band. And then they came out with this song, Teenagers, which I think may be after Got Caught Stealing and Smells Like Teen Spirit, maybe the best teenage anthem I'd heard in a long time. So here's Teenagers, My Chemical Romance. Well, that was Rage, and that was me being your host. And I hope you took notes, because there are there is going to be a test at the end of the semester. Everything I said will be on the test. But before we're done, let's watch a little Alice Cooper, Poison. From the Brutal Planet album, which was sort of a Armageddon-ish type of album for Alice, a little more metal than rock. This song was sort of like, the idea of this video was like, be careful what you ask for. Metal band comes to me and says, we want to be big. And I said, just sign right here. And I make them big, but not what they expected. Gimme this, gimme that.